What if, one ordinary moment, the sun simply went dark? No explosion. No warning. No supernova tearing the sky apart. Just silence and darkness, where the sun had always been. For 8 full minutes, nothing on Earth would change at all. The sky would still be blue. Daylight would still shine. Birds would still fly. People would still go about their lives. Because sunlight takes time to reach us. And Earth wouldn't know the sun was gone until it was already too late. Exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds after the sun vanished, daylight would end. The sky would darken faster than any sunset in history. Not orange. Not red. But a sudden, unnatural black. Stars would appear instantly. The moon would vanish into darkness. And for the first time since Earth formed, the planet would be alone. Panic would spread quickly. But fear wouldn't be the real threat. Cold would be. Within the first hour, temperatures would begin to fall. Not dramatically at first. Just enough to notice. But photosynthesis would stop immediately. Plants don't store sunlight. They need it constantly. Within hours, grass, crops, forests, the base of nearly every food chain on Earth, would begin to die. Life wouldn't collapse loudly. It would collapse quietly. Within 24 hours, global temperatures would drop by several degrees. Clouds would stop forming. Rain would disappear. Weather systems driven by solar energy would begin to shut down. By the end of the first day, Earth's average surface temperature would fall below freezing. Freshwater lakes would start forming ice. Soil would harden. Agriculture would be finished. Human civilization, built on predictable sunlight and seasons, would enter survival mode. Within 1 week, the temperature would plummet further. Much of the planet would sit below -20 degrees Celsius. Most plants would be dead. Herbivores would starve. Predators would soon follow. The surface of the oceans would begin to freeze, starting at the poles and spreading toward the equator. But beneath that ice, something would still be alive. The deep ocean would remain liquid for a long time. Heat trapped from Earth's interior, combined with salt and pressure, would keep water from freezing completely. Life near hydrothermal vents, ecosystems that rely on geothermal energy instead of sunlight, could survive for thousands, even millions of years. These places may represent the last natural refuges of life on Earth. But for humans, the surface would be impossible. Within a month, temperatures would drop below -40 degrees Celsius across much of the planet. Carbon dioxide would begin to freeze out of the atmosphere, falling as dry ice snow. The atmosphere itself would start collapsing. Oxygen would remain, but breathable air would thin as gases settled and froze. The sky would become clearer than ever, but deadly. Humanity's only chance would be underground. Deep bunkers. Subterranean cities. Geothermal power stations. Nuclear energy would become the most valuable resource on Earth, not for electricity alone, but for heat. Entire populations would cluster around power plants, volcanic regions, and deep mines. But even then, survival would be temporary. Within 1 year, Earth's average temperature would approach -100 degrees Celsius. Oceans would be frozen kilometers thick. The surface would resemble Europa or Pluto more than Earth. The planet would drift silently through space, still orbiting where the sun once was, but bound to nothing. Gravity wouldn't change immediately. But over time, Earth would no longer be anchored. It would begin a slow, lonely journey through the galaxy. A true rogue planet. Could humanity survive indefinitely? Possibly, but barely. Small populations could persist underground for decades, maybe centuries, powered by nuclear reactors and geothermal heat. Food would have to be grown artificially. Resources would be rationed. Every generation would inherit a harsher world than the last. And eventually, even nuclear fuel would run out. In the long term, Earth would become a frozen tomb. A dark planet wrapped in ice. Its oceans sealed. Its atmosphere collapsed. Its surface lifeless. The only evidence that life once existed would be fossils, frozen cities, and silent satellites drifting through space. The sun doesn't just give us light. It drives every wind, every ocean current, every growing season, every ecosystem. It powers life itself. Without it, Earth isn't destroyed by fire or explosion, it simply fades. So when you feel sunlight on your skin, remember this: that warmth is not guaranteed. It is a fragile gift from a single star. And without it, the world would end quietly. Make sure you're subscribing to Infinite Explanations for your regular scientific and what-if documentaries.